Okay, good morning to everyone. This is group from 103 LAX 2017. Today we are discussing, today our video is reflection number one. So, uh, since we are just finished our storytelling, so I'm going to ask some question from you guys. So about the whole story is. So your question. I'm going to ask some question for you. So based on your opinion, what do you think about Hansel and Gretel story? How do you feel about the story? This story is.
Okay, so first of all, my name is Hyuk Yang, and for my opinion, I feel a bit beautiful to Hansel and Gretel because their fathers and stepmother plan to abandon them in the forest just because they are lack of food, they are poor, and they are starving. Uh, I really feel a little bit beautiful for them because for me they are still kids and but their father and stepmother as a family members plan to abandon them. I don't think this is the right way. Even though I know that they are starving, they are poor, but I don't think this is the right way for them. So and for more, they are still kids, they are still young, and they can't even recognize who is bad, who is or who is the right guys, who is the bad guys, and who is bring the bad reason to approach them. They cannot recognize them. They're still kids, and that's all from me lah so far.
All right. Thank you, Christian. So I'm going to ask a question from the father's character, which is from Roha Datu. So in your situation, if you are in the same situation with the father's character, will you change your action? And if so, what are the changes of the story is?
Before that, my name is Rohadatul Izati binti Sadili. So with my character, which is the father, I would like, if can, I would like to change my character, and not changing my character. I mean changing what the action that my character did. Like when the stepmother asked the father to abandon the children. In this story, the father just let the his wife to abandon their children just because they're starving, and they feel like they're going to die if the kids is still there. But the truth is, like, they can just do it together, searching for the food supplies. So if I'm gonna change it, I'm gonna change it into the father to become strict, more strict than before. Like the father could tell the stepmother that they shouldn't have abandoned their children just because they are starving, and just because they want just them to live instead of the children. So in this story, the father should be like having the feeling of angry to the stepmother because the children is his son. So the stepmother couldn't do just like whatever she liked to the children, because there are humans too. Their rights to live. So for me, the father will warn the stepmother, so giving the lessons to the stepmother so that the stepmother wouldn't do that again. So I think the stepmother would regret and never do it again, and learn to love the children better than before. That is from my character.
All right. Thank you, Rohadatul. So I'm going to ask a question for Najiha. Your point of view. What is the most valuable moral of the story?
Hello, my name is Najia Hasuna. First of all, I think this story teach us many moral lesson to each everyone of us, especially to children. But in my opinion, the most important lesson in the crux of the story uh, is that not to blind trust strangers, even if they treat you well, uh, and don't go on anyone appearance, especially from we learn from the Hansel and Gretel. The children trust the witch at first, but she turned out to be a cannibal. Uh, that's all from me. Okay.
All right. Mm, So as closure question, so I'm going to ask everyone's opinion. So in your guys' point of view, what is the most important kids to know from the story is? Anyone would like to?
I would like to answer the question. Well, I think the children can learn is they should don't judge a book by its cover. From the Hansel and Gretel story, we know the gingerbread house might look tasty and wonderful, but there's something not so nice when they going on inside. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah, and I agree with Nadia point because this is very important for the children to keep their safety because for in my opinion the children cannot recognize what is bad guys right so they should not trust the stranger who treat them so well or means too well for them because in this society there is a lot of bad guys and their target especially is the children so they are mostly using the sweets or the food to treat the children so that they can kidnapping the children and so on and the children can recognize so I think through this story the children can learn about this moral value which is very important for them to keep their safety well. Yeah, and I think that's all for me.
I want to add on something. Like, I totally agree with Najia and Yokwisiang, where the kids shouldn't have trusted the strangers so much, even though the strangers giving them comfort, giving them such a good thing, clothes, food, or something that could help them at that time. But if they were alone, the kids were alone, they shouldn't have trust the strangers so much because the kids like they don't know them, they just know them at that time, and they didn't know what the stranger could do to them. And one more thing about the Hansel and Gretel relationship, which is the siblings relationship, we can see over here like the kids can learn that in your siblings you should have stick together no matter what happens, going through the hardship together. And if there were even there's some misunderstanding, they should have resolved it and helping each other instead of thinking of their self. So I think that's all for me.
I agree with your question and Najiha because they should understand how to interact the society is like they don't know who are they meet like the stranger are they the good people or bad people like because nowadays people make a money with like without humanity like human trafficking or even selling the organ. And the children is the most easiest target because they don't know anything. Like they just like accept everything what they like. Like they easy to get attention. They saw a the van ice cream that doesn't look like a van ice cream, and they just like oh they wanted the ice cream. This is a true story from what I heard because children keep missing after they interact with the stranger like get like they thought they get the ice cream but instead they got kidnapped. And then also the Roha Datul, I also agree with her. Even though we are in a hard situation, we should take care our sibling very much because they are the closest bond to ourselves. And also the whole family situation like the father and the stepmother. The stepmother should understand the father's relationship with the children because they are blood related. And like the father should more defensive on their children because should not letting let letting the neglect the children in a bad situation. And also the stepmother should understand the situation and then should think wisely for her children because imagine the stepmother uh hear the opinion from the father says that I don't accept your children so because it's not related to my blood it's not blood related to me. So I think I want to I want to like let like don't want I think the children needs to get adoption instead. And then after the father says like that to the stepmother, of course the stepmother will heartbroken because she felt like the children her children is not accepted, and then and also she felt not accepted as well because of the children. So yeah, she should think like that instead. Yeah, I think that's all from my opinion. So yeah, we just end our video for reflection and of Hansel and Gretel story. I think that's all from us. Thank you.